Hello, my name is Pierre Sabak. I'm the author of The Murder of Reality, Hidden Symbolism of the Dragon. Today I'm going to be talking about the symbolism of Jesus. Now the Greek name Christ, or Christos in the Greek, literally means the anointed one. And this is a Greek translation from the Hebrew word Messiah. Now the word Messiah, literally meaning anointed, comes from the Egyptian word massa, which is the crocodile fat. This is symbolic of the crocodile god Sobek. Now Sobek is a signifier of Venus, because in the hieroglyphic Sabaka is Venus, is the morning star. So Sobek himself is the morning star. Now within Egyptian carving we often see that the god himself is sometimes doubled, which would represent the morning star and the evening star. The pharaoh himself is often represented in holding the hand of Sobek, which would be the morning star. So the pharaoh himself is depicted as the Messiah, or takes on characteristics of the morning star. Now within Egyptian and Semitic iconography, the angelic host is represented as the morning star and fits in with the symbol of the builder. The builder, as we talked about in the previous interview, is another signifier of the angel. So the symbol of the builder is illustrative of the angel and is aligned within the Masonic tradition to the Freemason or the craftsman. And this also can be aligned to the hidden hand. Within the hieroglyphs, the hieroglyphic word for a prince is written with a single arm and an and. And this signifies both hereditary or is used to write the noun for a prince. So the hidden hand represents a hidden bloodline which is deemed as being angelic, or which is deemed as being royal. And when we look at the Hebrew word for a prince, the word nasi, which means a prince, is used also to refer to the noun for a fish. So the bloodline of the prince is illustrated by the fish. Within Judaic symbolism, we see the depiction of the Christians themselves. They refer to themselves as the Nazarenes. Now this is a Greek word coming from the Arabic word Nazrani, which literally means small fishes, but is a permutation on Nazar, which is a fish. So the bloodline of the prince is identified with the fish. Sometimes the word Nasi is used to refer to a leader of the Palestinian community, or can also refer to a leader of the synagogue. The implication would be a bloodline which is royal. Now the fish itself, the diagram of the fish has many subtle overtones or undertones within the hieroglyphs. So for example, the fish is very closely related hieroglyphically to the eye. As we've said earlier, the eye and the symbol of watching is another depiction of the angel. The Hebrew word erin, to watch, as the double signifier to shine. And can also mean to be awake as well. So a watcher, which is used in the Apocrypha traditions to refer to an angel, is also identified with the shining ones. Translation in the Greek would be drakon and drakos, which is an eye. In addition, the Greek word drakon is related to the word to flash. So we see the word play within the Hebrew, havev, which is to flash, and apha, which is a viper. So the dragon is deemed as connected to watching, but is also connected to flashing, which is a signifier of transfiguration. Obviously there is also an astrological connotation of flashing as well, and within the Egyptian mysteries, going back to the god Sobek, Sobek is often registered with flashing. So the sign of Venus can be connected to the flashing star, or if you like, within Egyptian iconography, this would refer to splashing, or the splashing god. Now this flashing takes on many permutations. We see within the Egyptian frescoes, sometimes the priest is represented by the rabbit. This is because when the rabbit runs, it flashes which, as we said in the Semitic languages, is connected to the serpent, Havev, which is to flash, and Afa, which is a viper. Now the rabbit, al-nab in the Arabic, is a pun on naba, which is to foretell, and nabi, which is a type of prophet. So we see these word relationships here between the priesthood, depicted with signifiers of flashing, and also this is a signifier or a symbol of the dragon. The priesthood represents itself anatomically. So the different fractions or factions of the body embody the different denominations of the priesthood. We see in particular that the foot is a very important signifier of the priest. So, for example, within the Semitic languages, within the hieroglyphic, the word wabai, which is a priest, where we would get the Hebrew word rab, which is a master, or rabbi, and in addition, coming from the Arabic word rabbi, which is west, and rab, which is the setting of the western sun. These are signifiers of the priesthood. Now, the priesthood is written hieroglyphically with the foot. But the foot is very important within many of the different languages, and we see that the foot is used to denote the dragon. As the sole of the foot has no hair follicles, it is used commonly to imply the dragon. So we see within Greek, for example, we see that the word podi, which is a foot, is punned with fritar, which is a serpent. The P and F are morphologically interchangeable. In the Roman mysteries as well, the foot is an important signifier of the priestess. So, for example, the Vestal Virgin, her signifier is vestigium. Vestigium is literally a footprint. It is used to refer to a genetic footprint. We would talk about it today as a genetic fingerprint, but in the original Latin it was the genetic footprint, and her bloodline is connected to the serpent, or vestis, which is the snakeskin. And vestis itself can be punned with the word vesper, which is the evening star. So the Vestal Virgins themselves represent themselves with the signifier of the serpent and Venus.